Hello, my friends, and welcome to my channel. It's Kate in a Nest, and I'm so grateful for your company. Thank you for joining me. So this is a bit of a surprise. I'm filming on a Monday afternoon because I just realized I'm not going to be able to do my usual Wednesday/Thursday video. Actually, you know that I don't have a pattern at all, but here I am. And I thought I would return to a mini make that I was making to go to Fleur Woods, and I used it, but I didn't finish it. So I would like to finish that. And sitting here beside me is there's my battery charger, my Fleur pouch. And I thought we might marry them up a little bit. So if you've got time to be watching this during the week, I'm excited for you, or it might be later in the week that you get to it. I've actually had a happy home day. I'm laughing because it's my most favourite thing in the world, except for going somewhere and running a workshop, or stitching with Fleur Woods, or being at an open studio, or going to see my mum, etc., etc. I'm always delighted and feeling blessed with what I get to do. But here we go. Why I said that is I've actually tidied some things, and I can actually see a bit of space. I've got my Fleur purse here. Oh, there's my little fairy book. Have I shown you this before? My grandparents gave this to me when I was little, and I start to realize that all my influences, right from when I was little, very little, were flowers. And look at these fairies, those blossoms, lilac, wild cherry blossom. So there we go. That's not intentional. It was just fell down as I tried. But I do love, love, love this little book. It's all purple. So I've kept the cover. She's a bit torn, but she like that on the... Maybe I should preserve that and keep it like this. Just trying to see if there's a year. Many happy returns for your birthday, hugs and kisses, but no year. But I might put that in my Fleur purse. So here's my Fleur, and I have put my unused wools in there at the moment. So that's there, providing background. Like, that's iconic Fleur. No one like her. So back to what I'm doing, mini making. Handily I have, so this has got 2 pockets in it. I don't know that I've shown you what I did. But let's get cracking. So in here I've got some spare needles, my favourite, my birch ones. Oh, on the last day of the workshop, we played a lucky dip, and Fleur got us to dip in and pull out a quote. And this was mine. I never made one of my discoveries through the process of rational thinking. And that was by Albert Einstein. When I read that out, everyone laughed. Because I thought that was perfect for me. So that might lead to my rational thinking. This is the tiny pair of baby scissors Fleur gave us. Aren't they gorgeous in the silver? So I've got a bit of a collection going now. Big gold and tiny silver. So it's great for traveling. You just have everything in here. And I even, oh no, I used it last night. I even had my a threader in there. Now, as I've always said, I've been influenced by the amazing Sarah from Thread and Connect, who made one of my pockets and took it so much further. And there's a beading needle. And I just adore hers. So we want to keep embellishing this. And the back is a tribute sort of to, that's Melbourne fabric. This is Indian block print, my favourites. And this is a piece of vintage blanket that I took to Perth. Here's my Fleur pouch. Oh, that's ready to stitch. Why don't we just warm up with that like in the old days? Do you remember? If you've been around with me, I used to just warm up. Actually, I wonder, no, this is going to bump. But there, I've got the light working on the phone, on the stand. Doesn't that make it, does that? Oh, but it doesn't stay on. Does that make a difference? It'll go off, but it's getting dark, so I'll hurry, even though it's slow stitch. So I've got some orange, it looks like shishiko in here, and this is my style. Always a thread hanging or another place to explore. So I filmed last night after Mother's Day, and you probably haven't had a chance to see that yet, but gee, it was a special day. And you know when you have something really special and you sort of keep floating on it the day after? That used to be for me when I went out dancing for a night with my friends, my girlfriends, way back in the day. I love music and I used to love to dance. Haven't done that in a while. But anyway, you'd wake up the next morning and it's almost like the adrenaline was still going through your veins. Okay, where are we going to go next? Now, my joy today, as with the Happy Home Day, and nothing, well, not nothing to do, but nowhere to be out at by a certain time. Now, this is luxurious, and I'm sorry for all the people that this will never happen for a while, but I let myself stay in bed, and I got my very big work that I haven't shown you yet, and I just stitched on it till after 9 o'clock. I told everyone I'd stay till 11, but I couldn't do that. But just sort of a sleep in, a stitch in, maybe we could call that. Where you don't stay in bed to sleep, you stay in bed to stitch. So this is a beautiful vintage Cantha. And now that that's run out, let's just stop that. But I'm just embellishing as we go. So I picked this up because it's still full of little tiny memories, not little tiny, but the fabrics, and you've seen this before, but I thought, is there something in here that would evoke a memory of the Fleur workshop for me and go on the mini make, because I can't call them scrappy bits. That's my own fabric that I bought recently, but it's not all that nice to stitch with. How about we leave that? There we are. That's the one. This is Fleur gave us this, and it's on linen. So I think we need to add that to the garden. And I also, tell me I've lost it already. I have another one of these that I thought could go with this. And I'm using this on my Fleurs in the Woods that you'll see, not on this video. So lots of projects. What are you up to? How many projects? I've got treasures over here. Oh, there. That's the one. See, I've chopped that off something else, and it's a little pocket. So I wonder if that went there. Did Did I say this last time that that's what I'm going to do? Because that's certainly what I'm going to do. I'll just make this a bit straighter. Straight as cake can be. And that's going to be a little pocket. And then that flower can come and be the hero up here. It's a fleur flower. Now I am getting lots of newbies, so welcome, welcome, welcome. And when I talk about Fleur, I presume that everyone in the world knows about her, but I didn't. And I know some of you have bought her book and discovered Fleur's work as a result of me talking or someone else talking about her. So I'm just going to say, so Fleur is Fleur Woods, and that's her real name. Sometimes people say, is that really? How could that be? Isn't that wonderful? That, yeah, I think that's where I'll put it. So I'll just fussy cut a little bit more in there. So there's a flower there and a flower here. I might move this slightly over. Or slightly down because I still want to have those beautiful pomegranates showing. So she can go right down to the bottom. Okay, let's get stitching. I'll save that for something else. I'll put that in my memory keeper. In fact, I'll put that in my Fleur bag. Fleur purse. Okay. Like, don't faint, but look, I've even got things in here. But no. And things in here. Looking for a colour. How about that? I'm really enjoying mixing up all the different threads I've got at the moment. So this is the Wonderfeel. Is it Wonderfeel? Elegant Suspargo eleganza, I think they are. And so I just go between the wools, and now I'll concentrate. Sashiko. Thank you to my friend who taught me on here how to say that. And yeah, I'm not actually using DMC hardly at all. So on this flower, on this Fleur, I'm just going to get straight into both stitching it on. So I haven't tied a knot. I'm doing a little baby stitch, and I'll go over again. It might come out one day, but we'll just stitch it back. So I want it to be like this strong, bring the pinks and the bolder colours. And don't ask me what stitch I'm doing. I'm just going in and down and under at the moment, colouring in. So there are little lines here to follow. On the flower. And on, you know, the beauty of this size little small piece is that I've only got one pin in there instead of having to baste it down. I'm curious, have you sorted out your week ahead? Got the diary out? I was thinking this morning how wonderful it was that I got into my morning routine. So what's your morning routine? That if you're home and can do everything that you love to do in order, what does that look like for you? Because I know for me today I could do it, and that's to come down here to the nest and get my diaries and journal out. Always start with gratitude, always. Then I have a look at the week ahead, and on Mondays I do a reflection. One day I might share some of that with you, or you can, just so we can do a separate video and you can tell me how you get yourself sorted. Or maybe you don't need to get yourself sorted, but I do, and that really calms me. And if I can do that after I've stitched for a wee while, that's a Fleur term, the New Zealanders' tiny time, then that's even better. Because I can always start with, it's a new beautiful day and I've already stitched. So I was really excited if I talk to you, because I can't hear what you're saying, but I hope you're telling me what you do and how you're feeling and what's ahead and all of those sorts of things. This time next week, I'll have finished my first day of teaching with Fleur, which is, I didn't even dream it, so I can't even say it's a dream come true, because I had never in my ever knew that I would ever be stitching and knowing all of you beautiful people, let alone being asked by Fleur. And so we're doing 3 days together at the Green Door. And you're probably sick of hearing me talk about all of that, but it's so special. And I just, as I say, I just wish you could all be here with me. But yeah, to have a week before we do that. And then after that, I've got 2 weeks at home without many things on. So that's going to be very stitchy creative time. And I might even get into a routine of doing my newsletter on the day before the month starts. Well, that's what I could do. And open my June bazaar. Anyway, we'll just see. Okay, so I've started that, and as I was talking to Prue, the lovely new, she's a wonderful quilter and sort of newish to slow stitching. The great thing I find about slow stitching is that I just move from literally from flower to flower. So when I've done a bit on one flower, I just go to another part of the garden. So I've flipped it over now. Here's a variegated that cotton thread from Japan. The light's fading here, and this isn't the biggest. Oh yeah, I'm right now. So let's pick up, let's put that. See, this is why they're handy. You can just have your needles and pins on the outside and just have it as a project on the go. So now let's do stem stitch. this beautiful, it's very is it 60s or 70s? These sheets that were used. Picking up some fluff there, different wool. I can feel the light fading, so sorry if I'm talking in a hurry, but I want to get this done so it's not too dark and shadowy for you. It's a bit of a weird stem stitch there, so we'll just go over the top, make it look like it was meant to be. Look at the weave of that. Around the petals, and they're actually quite nice rounded petals in this one. Okay. Sort of take more care changing directions. Okay, now this is my favorite thing. We started out going around that flower, but we've just bumped into this other cute flower. So let's just take this same beautiful thread, this quite a long one, and now move over to the petals of this one. This must be rusty or something, or a bit of glue on it. It's catching the needle. So I'll change it when I change threads. So now I'm just doing an extra stitch into these pink petals. And it's probably not going to be very visual, except it's building the texture up. Now we might do some different stitches. Let's do a chain along here. Oh, straight into my finger. This is a lovely sharp little needle. Sorry, I forgot to do chain. Probably haven't seen me do this for a while, a chain down a petal, because I don't think I've done it. It's just, I can see that Fleur, yeah, that's why I like that Fleur pouch, because literally, as I've said many times, and you will know more than me, many of you experienced embroiderers, that she fills in every single space with all sorts of different stitches. It's just really inspiring to see. So I'm actually thinking that I could even fill some of these petals in. colour them in, literally, and cover that white. But not yet. Okay, I'm going to finish that off. Go in here, have a little ending. There we go. So that's where I've just been. That's that flower. So you can see that that's echoed in the flowers of that Lucello. But yeah, I'm excited about this. But for the moment, what on earth have I got happening there? And a thread there and a thread there. This corner is a bit showy. That's why we're going to go down here and make a pocket, and then I'd like that to be a bit more colourful. Because it's got white and then it's got blanket, and so I thought I'll keep the blanket as the pocket. I keep coming back to this because it's a little quilt piece. Okay, here we go. Just changing it all up. And keep that as the top, and I'm going to take that off, and we're going to have a pocket. Oh, but I covered that. Can it come around the front a bit? Nope. All right, my friends. Forget the pocket. We are going to have just this beautiful crochet there. Although it's still over. I like it there because it can be a frill that way. There's the pin cushion. And it leaves an opportunity to do something down here. And I'm thinking some braids maybe. Sorry, look at all that shadow. Is that too bright? I think so. Without a bit of this. Just thinking as an idea, maybe not. And this is doubled, so just use everything. This is the tie of something that I found in India, and I'm using it. Oh. Am I using it or am I not using it as a binding? this is going to match down the other stripe. And I need to have a little flower or something. See, this is what happens. I said I'd start with some braid, and I put that there and still haven't got the crochet on. This is my favourite flower at the moment, but I'm keeping them for my, there's something else. 2 bits is wrong. I'm going to stop standing up. A little bit of sorry. How about we make a flower out of the sari design? Actually, see how that's joined over the top? Yep. And pop that onto there. And that's going to be like a flower. And it gets rid of those edges. Yep. And feels absolutely beautiful. Okay, my friends, that's going to be it, because things to do on a Monday in the household, especially as I've had such a lovely, lovely time already. So yeah, I'm going to have that little bit of that poking over. I've got my pin cushion there, a little bit of silk, a bit of embroidery, and she's got 2 pockets in her for scissors, that pen. Yeah, you know what I talk about all the time. All right, there we go. Let me tidy the table a bit. Oh gosh, doesn't take long to untidy it. That's my Fleur pouch, my little mini make, and yeah, what a nice way to start the week off. Well, it has been for me, sharing with you. Please take care of you. I'll put my spare needles in there just in case, and I will see you again next time. Okay, but it'll be a few days. Talk soon. Bye.